there YouTube, this is Vargas XX78 with another collection pickup video. Just wanted to share with you guys all the stuff that I've gotten since the last video I posted. Nice mix of stuff actually. I always say this that I'm going to try to cut back, but you know, whenever I say that in the previous pickup video, these awesome deals come my way, and honestly I can't help myself. Whenever I see something dirt cheap and it's something that I really wanted, I have to jump at the chance to get it, because it's happened before that I miss a game or a movie and I say I'm not gonna get it, and then I can never find the damn thing because you know it becomes scarce, or it you know, everyone's after it, and I always end up regretting not having picked it up. So also, this is stuff that I've gotten since the last pickup video, which I'm not sure. I'd have to check the dates, but I think it's been a good 2 months and a week, maybe. So this is basically 2 months worth of stuff that I've bought, you know, little by little. But it's piled up into enough to make a video to share with you guys. So just wanted to share the latest pickup videos that I got and that I'm adding to the vault. Which honestly, the vault is getting out of hand. It's one of the good things about playing puzzle games when I was a kid is that I can, for the most part, organize everything in order so it looks good and display it properly. But I have enough stuff that's kind of getting hard. I mean, you can see the movies here and some stuff here, but the main place where I put the stuff, it's getting crowded in there. So yeah. Also, with the birth of my daughter in a month and a week, I do have to cut down, because I'm, you know, the big responsibility of a dad is providing for your child, and you know, have to buy diapers and wipes and clothes and baby formula and everything. So I am going to cut down, and I'm going to mention one thing in particular. But like I said, these are the things that I've gotten, so I wanted to share it with you guys. One of the things I picked up, I was going through my last videos just to see if I don't repeat this, but I didn't see this there, so I'm gonna mention it. And I picked up at a Marshall's a stealth elf for Skylander Giants. The box is all beat up, so I'm definitely gonna open it. But I like the design of the guy. The main fall of Skylanders is that you don't identify yourself with the characters. I feel they're not like the amiibos that you instantly recognize the characters for Mario or Star Fox or Peach or anything. Even Disney Infinity has name recognition. You see this guy on the street or at a store, and you don't know who the heck that guy is. He looks cool, but he doesn't have a name. He's just a stealth elf. But still, visually he looked pretty cool. It's actually a she, I'm sorry. She looked pretty cool. The mold was awesome. And I need a couple of toys for Skylanders. I have Skylanders Giants. I only have like five little action figures for that, so I needed another one. So I'll pick that one up. Went to a swap meet and a Dollar Tree, oddly enough. At the swap meet, I picked up for my wife the short Second Life of Bree Tanner, which is a little mini book based on a really small character in Eclipse. But my wife has all 4 books, I'm sorry. So I picked this one up for her. And the one I picked up at Dollar Tree is this Wicked Game. It's one of those young adult books, but I've never seen one that has anything to do with voodoo. It's a secret society of voodoo, and I picked it up. If, you know, nothing else, maybe my daughter will like it. I don't know. Went to Cinepolis to see... What did I see? I went to see Tomorrowland. And honestly, that's a pretty good movie. I really like the fact that George Clooney is in it, and Hugh Laurie, who's Dr. House for anyone that doesn't know him. It was great to see Hugh Laurie in anything. And it was a good movie. I would definitely recommend watching it. My wife loved the movie. She saw the trailer. She got interested just because of the trailer. I was expecting something kind of like The Haunted Mansion or something like Pirates of the Caribbean, because it's basically just a movie out of one of the Disney rides or one of the theme sections. But honestly, I was genuinely surprised by the movie. It has a couple of issues, but I liked the message. I really, really liked the message that the movie had. So definitely, I'm gonna buy it on Blu-ray DVD when it comes out, because it's the kind of movie that I would want my daughter to watch. But after coming out from Cinepolis, like anyone knows, I have a Cinepolis cup collection going. They come out with these collectible cups that have 3D effects. And as we were walking out of theater, they were taking out these Minion cups, because the Minion movie is going to come out. And Cinepolis usually releases the cups before the movie, because they sell out like that. They had a couple of designs. They had a cave Minion design. They had this one, which I think was the best one. That's why I bought it. I really like the pirate Minions. And they had another one, which I didn't care much for, but this is the one I picked up. They also were taking out bags of the... Well, here it's called Intensamente. I think in US it's called Inside Out. It's a new Pixar movie. And I really like the look of the character. This one looks like he's going to be fun. Anger, disdain, fear, joy, and sadness. So I really like the designs of these things. And the movie trailers make it look like a really, really good movie. I know it won an award at Cannes. So we're really looking forward to that movie. There was also a couple of Jurassic Park cups, but unfortunately in that movie theater, they only had the big buckets. I wanted the cups because that's the collection I have. But unfortunately they were all sold out. However, one of my wife's friends was able to get the cups in another movie theater, in another part of TJ, and she got the cups. We still have to meet up with her to get them, but I do have the Jurassic World cups, and they look amazing. There's two designs, a blue one with some raptors, and then a green one with some dinosaurs, and the V-Rex, or I think it's called the Indominus Rex, something like that. The genetically engineered dinosaur that's the big baddie in this movie. And I'm really looking forward to Jurassic World, so in the next pickup video, expect to see a Jurassic World Cup. Okay, on to some video games. I gave my N64 some love. I haven't seen any N64 games. They have a couple of really lame sports games, but nothing that really I wanted to add to the collection. Until I found Excitebike 64. Now, I remember playing this game at a Walmart and not really caring for it at first, because it controlled differently, and I thought it was really difficult. So I said, I'll pick it up when it's on sale. And that never happened. So of course I would have preferred to get a boxed copy of this, because later on, I don't remember if I rented it or if someone loaned it to me, but I kind of found new love for the game. It really was more than I originally thought. It's a very cool racing game. The motorcycles sound really cool. It is a little hard to control. It does have that factor, but it's a lot more fun than I first thought in that Walmart. And this is of course a successor to Excitebike on the NES, which was later superseded by Excitebots on the Wii. But it's a shame that Nintendo doesn't release more on the Excitebike series. They could do something really cool and really fun on the Wii U, but yeah, and I don't think this is on the Virtual Console, so that was one of the reasons I've been hunting down a copy of Excitebike 64, and now it's part of the collection. The other game I picked up is a game that I've been looking forward to getting, but it's not the best reviewed game on the 64, and that's ArmMarine's Project Swarm. I remember this and finding out about this game from Club Nintendo. Club Nintendo did an article that they were selling Acclaim was selling the game like Turok meets Starship Troopers, and that really sounded interesting. But I was never able to find the game complete in box, and then N64 games got really hard to hunt for. They were either super priced, or they were just gone or beat up as hell. And then I found this place that had Excite by 64, and they had Armorines. And I know this game is not the best reviewed game. I know that a lot of people say it has issues, but it's the fact that I've been hunting down for this game and Excite Bike that make it worth it. And I've played a little bit. It's not that bad. It's not as good as Turok, and it does have issues, but it's not that bad. It's passable. And I'm just happy to add this one because this, it's a small collection, but this is my 75th N64 game, so really excited about that. I do want to add more games to the 64, but those are the only two I've gotten recently. This one, I don't remember if I skipped it. I just really quickly went through the videos, mostly because of the Skylanders toy. So I don't know if I already talked about this. Since I'm waiting so long to add stuff to make a decent video, I have noticed that I'm forgetting to talk about stuff that I picked up and put in the shelf. But if I already talked about this, I'm sorry. But the other game I picked up is Ace Combat Assault Horizon Legacy. Beautiful game on the 3DS. It's an entry of the Ace Combat series, and it looks beautiful on the 3DS. The 3D effect gives it a really cool look. I've heard the PlayStation 3 version is also pretty neat. So if I see it, I'm gonna pick it up. But this is a fun game. There's also a newer version of this for the 3DS XL. So if you connect amiibos into it, you'll be able to unlock designs for the ships. But this one was dirt cheap at a Blockbuster Mexico, so I picked it up. Again, if I already talked about it, I apologize, but I don't think I did. Went to a GameStop, the only GameStop in where I've seen a copy of this, in San Marcos. That's the only GameStop I've ever seen it, and I got some money together, and I finally picked up Castlevania Lords of Shadow Mirror of Fate. It supposedly was new at GameStop, but it's not new. This is a display copy that they had. All they did was put a sticker on it, but it doesn't even have the freaking instruction manual. It only has the Konami code, which doesn't work anymore, and the Club Nintendo code, which doesn't work anymore. So it's a bummer that it doesn't have the freaking manual. But with the fate of Konami and the fact that they've given up on consoles, I am super sure that all the Konami games, Castlevania, Silent Hill, Metal Gear, anything to do with Konami is going to jack up on price. And I wanted to get this one because I knew this was going to become scarce. And again, it's the only GameStop where I've seen a copy of this. Of course, not that I own it, every GameStop is going to have a copy complete with manual, but I just really wanted to get this one because I wanted to complete my Silent Hill, I'm sorry, my Castlevania. Silent Hill is another series I'm going to talk about later on. But I do want to complete my Konami series, Castlevania, Silent Hill, Metal Gear, and the rest. I've heard that this is the 3D in this, and the music is awesome. I've heard it's not very cool, and it's unfortunately something that happens with the Lords of Shadow. The first one, the Lords of Shadow on PlayStation 3, honestly just feels like a ripoff from Shadow of the Colossus and God of War and Devil May Cry and so on. This one is interesting because it has Gabriel from the first Lord of Shadows. It also has little hints to, I don't know, Lords of Shadow is supposed to be a reboot, but it also has kind of like hints to the original NES series. So I don't know, time-wise, what mess they did here. And Alucard seems to also be on this, but like I said, wanted to complete my Castlevania series, and this is the first step to doing so. I'm only missing Lords of Shadow 2 and Order of Ecclesia, and Symphony of the Night on PlayStation 1, and Dracula X on the Super Nintendo. So I'm missing those 4 games. For the Wii, I still haven't opened it, but I picked up Fortune Street, brand new, for 100 pesos at a mix-up. It's 100 pesos. I've seen this at GameStop go for 40. Cheapest I've seen is $30. I bought it for about $8 new, so I thought it was pretty cool. This is like, it's not like Mario Party, this is more like Monopoly. but it crosses over with the characters of Dragon Quest. So that was a big reason I've been looking for this game, and now I find it dirt cheap, and I have to pick it up. Like I said, whenever I see a deal about something that I know is cool, I have to get it. Because they only had like 2 copies left. This one and 2 others, so yeah. And it's interesting that this game didn't get more popular. It's monopoly with Nintendo and Dragon Quest. This should have been a hit. But you know, these things kind of happen. You think something's going to be really popular and it doesn't really work out with the fans. But I'm really looking forward to opening it and playing it. The same GameStop where I picked up Castlevania for $4. I picked up Disney Infinity. You can download this game for free on the Wii U. It's like 10 gigabytes. Unfortunately, I had to delete. It's actually more like 8 gigabytes. But unfortunately, I had to delete that installed so I can download Donkey Kong Country Tropical Breeze, which was the platinum gift from Nintendo. So I wanted Disney Infinity, and this one was $4. I already have the Portal from the Disney Infinity 2.0 pack that I bought a couple of months ago. So yeah, it's an innovative game. Obviously, the second one is cool. The only problem is that you have to buy the play sets, which are these little plastic things that you have to connect to the Portal. But it's a very cool experiment, and like I mentioned in my audio cast, they're going to release version 3.0, which is based on Star Wars, so looking forward to that. And for my beautiful wife, on the Wii U, I picked up Hello Kitty Cruisers. I recently found out that this is a game that you can download on Apple and iOS. No, Apple is iOS. Apple, iOS, and Android. And you can pay to unlock the other characters. And in this version, everything's already there. It's not as good as Mario Kart, but it's still pretty fun. Played it a little bit with my wife. She's a big Hello Kitty fan, so I'm still trying to get her hooked into video games, or at least have her interact more with me with video games. And it's not working out that well, but she seemed to have fun with this one. If nothing else, it's a little racing game with Hello Kitty that I'll be able to play with my daughter. Once she's old enough to pick up and play video games. For the PlayStation 3, I bought this off a friend of work, and he was selling games really cheap. Honestly, I've always been more of a fan of International Superstar Soccer, Winning 11, and Pro Evolution Soccer. I just feel the gameplay is beyond anything else that other soccer football games can offer. But the big thing that FIFA has is that it has all the licenses. So he was selling it cheap. It's actually the same friend that sold me Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and he sold me FIFA Soccer 13. It has a really cool metallic look. The main reason I picked this one up is the same reason I picked up Pro Evolution Soccer 2014, is because TJ's local soccer team, Los Cholos, is in this one. So, yeah, I will admit, the fact that it does have the original names does give it a little more oomph in the series. But gameplay-wise, even visually, I like Pro Evolution Soccer way better than this. But I will admit this one is fun, and I'm enjoying both of them. Went to a different GameStop, and I picked up for $10 Resident Evil 6, because I didn't own it. I'm missing Resident Evil 5, but honestly, I didn't much care for Resident Evil 5, mostly because of the AI of your companion. But if I ever do see that one cheap, I will pick it up. I do want to own all the games in my Resident Evil series. But Resident Evil 6 is the one I picked up, really dirt cheap. Surprised it was $10 actually. Again, if Capcom ever gives the news that they're dropping out of consoles to go into mobile, pretty sure all these type of games are going to go up in price as well. But for the meantime, I still want to get Resident Evil Dark Side. Wait, what's the other one? Yeah, it's Resident Evil Dark Side Chronicles for the Wii, which is a rail-based shooter based on Resident Evil 2. and Resident Evil 5. So with those, I'll own a complete Resident Evil collection. Not counting the Raccoon CD games. I didn't much care for that. This was the one I got confused with Castlevania a while ago. Picked up Silent Hill Homecoming at a Blockbuster for $10, and yeah, just like with Castlevania, I want to get these games before they get overpriced. It's not the best entry of the Silent Hill because Team Silent didn't do it. A lot of people complained that this game, the character is like an ex-military guy, and he can take any weapon and just bash the hell out of the monsters, and it's something that you couldn't really do in other series, other entries of the series. And a lot of people complain about that because that takes away a little bit of the horror. I thought it, for what it's worth, I thought it was interesting, but it's not as good as the rest of the Silent Hill games, I'll admit. Again, it was not done by Team Silent. It takes elements from the movie, especially the transformation when you enter Silent Hill. Everything peels off and gets all rusty. But, like I said, it's part of the entry. It's an entry for the series, and I want to complete my Silent Hill collection. So I'm a little bit closer to doing so. On to some movies, not many movies, but I did pick up at Target WrestleMania 31. This is this year's WrestleMania. Saw half of the WrestleMania event with my brothers. Saw the Undertaker match with Bray Wyatt. It was pretty good. Undertaker looked good. He didn't look as bad or as sick, I guess, as he did in the Brock Lesnar fight from last year. He looked good, but it should have been a rematch. The Sting versus Triple H match wasn't that good. The Daniel Bryan ladder match was cool. The Brock Lesnar Roman Reigns fight started off pretty good. Brock Lesnar got beat up, but as everyone knows, Seth Rollins cashed in, as everyone knew. I guess anyone knew that was going to happen. I knew that was going to happen. That Seth Rollins cashed in Money in the Bank and became the new champion. And I don't like what they're doing with Seth Rollins, honestly. Also had John Cena versus Rusev. That was pretty good. What others they had? Well, that's the only one. Oh, the other good moment is The Rock came down and she was talking trash to Triple H and Stephanie. And then he brought in Ronda Rousey from UFC. That was very interesting that they will allow Ronda Rousey. I guess it's to promote Fast and the Furious. It was done to promote that, but it's very interesting to see that kind of crossover. But it was pretty cool. It was a good WrestleMania. I enjoyed it, even though the ending to the Brock Lesnar Roman Reigns fight was not that good. I also picked up on Blu-ray DVD at the same Target, Iron Man 3, because I needed it to complete my Iron Man collection, and it was really dirt cheap. It was the only Marvel movie that was super cheap that time around. I still need to get Thor 2 and Cap 2. But it was a really good movie. A lot of people complain about what they did to the Mandarin, that they made him a joke. Honestly, I thought that was brilliant. I thought it was amazing that they took the threat of the Mandarin and that gave it such a really cool spin. And I just really, really enjoyed it. Guy Pearce did great as the villain. Everyone did a good job. The effects were super good in this. And the parts where Tony Stark is going, even though they didn't really follow through in any of the movies, but where he's going through like post-war syndrome, where he's freaking out after everything that happened with the Chitauri, I thought that was pretty interesting. So I enjoyed Iron Man 3. I thought it was pretty cool, and I'm glad to add it to my superhero movie collection. At that same Target, I picked up Neighbors. This is a comedy that I went to see with my wife, and she loved it. She actually said that I should pick it up. That's why one of the many reasons I love my wife. She actually encourages me to geek out. It's a funny movie. It's a freaking funny movie. The trailer made it look cool. The movie itself is amazing, so definitely recommend this one. At a Walmart in Mexico, I picked up, because I'm trying to complete my Cantinflas collection, Cantinflas El Bombero Atómico, which turns out is one of my wife's favorite Cantinflas movies. And I also picked up Dragon Ball Z Battle of the Gods, but here it's called Dragon Ball Z La Batalla de los Dioses. Enjoyed the hell out of this movie. Fortunately, didn't get a chance to watch it in theaters, which sucks. But they put it up in Netflix a little while, and I loved the hell out of this movie. A lot of people complain that the parts where Bills is interacting with the Dragon Ball Z characters is lame, and the way that Vegeta interacts, without trying like crazy to calm down Bills. But the part where Bills slaps Bulma, and Vegeta just like, nobody does that to Bulma, and just rages out and beats the hell for a while to Bills. And Kaiosama actually says, oh shit, this is the first time that Vegeta surpasses Goku. That made the movie for me. The brother that follows me has always been a super huge Vegeta fan. But, as a follower of the series, that moment was super cool. And it made Vegeta look badass. Way more badass than he did in the Broly movie, where he was like all scared. That moment alone was freaking amazing. And it's good to revisit the Dragon Ball Z universe. Which is something that's going to happen, because there's going to be a new movie coming out where they resurrect Freezer. And then there's going to be a new animated series down the line. So, really glad to see Dragon Ball back. At a Blockbuster Mexico, I picked up Royal Rumble, the 2010 edition. This one was not that good. It had Randy Orton versus Sheamus. It had Rey Mysterio versus The Undertaker, which honestly felt like a squash match. And it had the 30-man Battle Royale. The only saving grace about this is that this is the one where Edge came back and won the Royal Rumble. So that was pretty cool. I'm always on the lookout for WWE videos. At a mix-up, they had this sale on Studio Ghibli, and my Studio Ghibli collection is not that cool. I'm missing a bunch of movies, but I'm a little bit closer to owning most of them. This is Volume 2 of the Studio Ghibli collection, which has Ponyo, Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind, and what I've never heard about, the War of the Tanukis. Ponyo, I have seen. I love the little story it is. Nausicaa I've never seen, but I know it's one of Studio Ghibli's best. And the Tanuki War, I've never seen it. Honestly, this is the first time I ever heard about it, but I'm looking forward to seeing that one as well. Man, this is turning out to be a long video. 27 minutes, wow. Volume 3 of that collection has Spirited Away, which is a movie I've been looking forward to picking up for a long time. One I've never heard about, Recuerdos del Ayer, what's it called? Only Yesterday. Only Yesterday is the other one in this set. And, to my knowledge, possibly Hayao Miyazaki's first work, Castle Cagliostro, which is a movie for Lupin III. So, also have been looking forward to picking that up, and now it's part of the collection. There's another set, Volume 4 has Grave of the Fireflies, Kiki's Delivery Service, and another movie that I haven't heard about. So I want to pick that one up. But Volume 1 has Howl's Moving Castle, which I already own, Castle in the Sky, which I already own, and My Neighbor Totoro, which is the only one I would genuinely pick up. But if I can pick that one up separately, I'll do so. Because I love Studio Ghibli. I want to get as many of those movies as I can, because it's... For my daughter, I want to show her, when she's old enough, I want to show her Disney, I want to show her Pixar, and I want to show her Studio Ghibli. Because animation-wise, they're awesome. For my wife, I picked up the second season of Maria de Todos Los Angeles. It's a Mexican TV show that we started watching. The second season ended a good year and a half ago, I think. And I've been meaning to get it for her, and I saw it, and I picked it up for her. It's a really, really funny series, but, you'd have to know a lot of Mexican culture to find the humor in it. And the last movie I picked up is on Blu-ray, the 50th anniversary of Breakfast at Tiffany's, which is a movie that I've always seen on these 100 best movies of all time lists. I've honestly never seen it. I have never seen this or Gone with the Wind, which is another movie that I want to pick up. I want to pick up Gone with the Wind because it's the type of movies that I want to add to the movie collection. These classic historic movies. I own Casablanca, but I didn't own this. And it turns out my wife hasn't seen it either, but she likes Audrey Hepburn. She says that she's one of the classic, elegant ladies in Hollywood. So, added this last piece to the collection. Wow. So yeah, it's been talking for a good chunk. I always like to recommend the standout things of the collection. Movie-wise, it's really tough. Really tough because I have so much to talk about. Personally, Studio Ghibli. Can't mention it enough, but Dragon Ball Z. If you're a fan of Dragon Ball Z, give this movie a chance. It's a nice return to the Dragon Ball Z universe, and it's a return to the fun elements of Dragon Ball. Because if anyone watched the original Dragon Ball series, that thing had talking animals. Emperor Olaf makes an appearance here. They completely forgot about Emperor Olaf, except in GT. And he has a talking raccoon with him. I think it's a raccoon. So this is a return to the fun elements of Dragon Ball, and it also has, your big epic fights between Goku and Bills. So I guess the success of this movie is what made the studio decide to make the Resurrection of Freezer and the Dragon Ball series. So really, if you haven't seen that one, give it a chance. If you're a fan of Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, you'll definitely love this. If you're just looking for epic fights, it's gonna take you a good chunk to get to that. But I freaking enjoyed it a lot. Game wise, I'm gonna recommend. Well, oddly enough, the one I've been playing the most, FIFA 13. But get FIFA 13 because the other series haven't been that good. And Excitebike 64. It's a great game. If you're subscribed to James Rolfe, the Angry Video Game Nerd, he made a James and Mike Monday where he gets together with Bad News Boopsy and and I forgot his name. Someone else to play 4-player Excitebike. So it's a fun game. Definitely give this one a chance, but I totally recommend it. So yeah, that was the collection picker video. Thanks so much for letting me share all this stuff with you guys, and until I see you all again, this is Vargas XX78, thanking you, and signing out.